So we're here at this wild camping spot just above the bluffs from Omaha Beach. And all day we see people walk by and we see people drive by to do the same tour, walk down to visit Omaha Beach. And this morning, just a few minutes ago actually, we saw this thing drive by. And presumably it's on a tour of Normandy. Check it out. It's an old army Jeep. You see these around, but not very many. And certainly we don't see very many that are still in good driving condition. And this looks like it's been restored to its original operating shape. Not fully restored to pristine shape, but as you can see, it's got the normal dings and service wear. And of course, you start this without a key, so the guy who walked down there just puts a bike lock on it. The chain and the padlock. And this thing right here would have been a way to lock your rifle. And when you walk away, people don't steal your rifle. What do you think, Luca?
Cool.
Cool, huh? And yesterday when we were down by the beach, we're down by the memorial, we saw a young man dressed like World War II era 101st Airborne paratrooper, just walking around giving a tour to a French couple. Presumably he's French and he just operates one of these French tours that give people Normandy World War II tours. It's pretty cool. It's a very authentic looking uniform that he was wearing, complete with a trench knife on his boot and everything. Okay, so first stop today, we're here at the Overlord Museum. This is not the cemetery. There's several museums like this. This is one of the bigger ones. It's supposed to be a really good one, but we're not gonna go inside this one. It does cost money. It costs, I don't know, like 7 or 8 euros per person. So if we go to all of them, the cost will add up. But they do have a lot of hardware outside that we can check out. For example, this is a German 88mm anti-aircraft, anti-personnel gun. This is what, in Band of Brothers, this is what they thought originally was at Breakhorn Manor when they went to attack it. And turns out, when they arrived at Breakhorn Manor, they found out those are actually 105s. They thought they were 88s. 105s are 30% bigger even than this one. And then they have a bunch of other stuff here on display on the outside that you can see without having to pay to go in. Here are, I don't know if this is the original bunker or not, but this is like one of the bunkers that you would see on the beach. And if you see Saving Private Ryan, they had a whole bunch of these obstacles laid out all over the beach. This would be what the Army mechanics would have built to get across rivers and stuff that didn't have bridges. Oh, so this is a real one, but it's pretty far inland, huh?
They just took it up.
Is that a picture of them actually building it?
Yeah, I guess so.
And then that's where like people would look out with the machine guns.
And they just lifted it with a coin, simply. Yeah. Just simply lift a historic.
Yeah, did they move this from another place, I wonder?
Looks like it.
How did that break?
It's rebar. It's reinforced concrete. It's very strong. This weighs 29 tons. It was installed in the vicinity near Saint Nazaire on the Atlantic coast. It was moved here in 2007 because they were building roads over there. So they brought it over here. You know what these are?
What?
These are what they would have thrown all across the beach to prevent the Allies from driving their vehicles on the beach. So during the D-Day Allied invasion, these were just all across the beach, all the way into the water too. There's M32b1 Sherman. So they made a tank version out of this too, but this is a recovery vehicle. So if the tank ever got stuck somewhere, they would use another tank like this to pull it out, but this one didn't have a gun on it. Based on the chassis of an M4A1 Sherman, had a fixed superstructure rather than the turret, a winch with 61 meters of wire, can tow 27 tons. But they had an 81 millimeter mortar, so they can still fire. Oh, they fire smoke rounds. It's like a ninja. This is a British tank. 25 pounder, self-propelled gun, Sexton.
Wait, what does it mean, gun propelled?
Self-propelled, that means it drives. It's a gun that drives. You know how they have these, the 88 millimeter gun back there that doesn't have wheels to drive? You have to move it? That's why they call this a self-propelled gun. Look how heavy duty these tank treads are. Some more American tanks here.
They just spin, is it?
Yeah.
They have like higher things on it.
This is based on an M4 Sherman. Has a 3-inch gun. Rotating M1 turret, was a tank destroyer. The British called the M10 Wolverine, and it began rearming their M10s with 17-pound NT tank guns. This is a Sherman. This was a very cheap tank to make, but they can make them very quickly. So this was like the kind of tanks that they would have had thousands and thousands of. From 1942, over 49,000 were produced. And this particular variant is the M4A1. 6,281 of this variant was produced. But the M4, all the M4s combined, had 49,000 units. Alright, that was a cool little walk around to see the hardware on display on the outside at the Overlord Museum. Now we're gonna go to the American Cemetery.
But in June 1944, on this narrow coastline, the future of freedom and democracy was at stake. The outcome would depend on the competence, courage, and sacrifice of thousands of embattled men struggling to seize it.
Frank H. Chalker Jr., Philip W. Barr, Richard L. Lazinski,
On the 22 bed for boys, 11 are honored here in the cemetery today. So that some information are engraved on each grave. So of course the name of the man, his rank, private first class, just there, his unit, so we knew he was in the 116th Infantry Regiment of the 29th Infantry Division. He enrolled the army in Virginia State, where I was from, but it could be different. Some men did not enter the army in the same state as they came from. And the date of days. You know that maybe you went to other cemeteries and you have the indication of the age of the birth date. Here it's not the case because, as I told you, there is no order for burials, and we want this equality between all of us, the notion of equality here in the cemetery. So it's one of the reasons there are no indication of the age. Twin brother farewell. I will never forget that morning. It was the 6th of June. I said farewell to brother. Did not think it would be so soon. I had prayed for our future, that wonderful place called home. But a sinner's prayer was not answered. Now I will have to go there alone. Oh brother, I think of you. All through the sleepless night, dear Lord, He took you from me, and I can't believe it was right. This world is so unfriendly. To kill now is a sin. To walk that long, narrow road, it can't be done without Him. Dear Mother, I know your worries. This is an awful fight. To lose my only twin brother and suffer the rest of my life. Now, fellows, take my warning. Believe it from start to end. If you ever have a twin brother, don't go to the battle with him. I would like to thank you very much for your attention, your presence today. So you have any questions, don't hesitate, and I thank you very much for your coming today. Thank you.
Thank you.
When you see empty space, it's not because some graves were put out, just because there was a tree before.
I see.
With the storm, it was
Yeah.
destroyed. So he died just at the top of the cliff of Omaha at the beginning, on the WN60, the German posit.